Hello and good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live on July 19th, 2023. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. We're already halfway through the week. I hope your week has been going well. It's been a little rainy here. Not great weather, but you know what? Into every life, a little rain must fall, right? So I just want to let you guys know real quick, on Monday, you might remember I did a little bit of a breakdown of the new Kindle Scribe tablet. And I talked about that for a little bit and demoed that. People have been asking me where they could get one, so I went ahead and put the link in the comment. That first comment there will be that. You can check that out if that's something that you're interested in. Today, I have got a very cool guest that I met just a couple of weeks ago, and she's actually pretty new to West Virginia, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Her name is Theresa Ortiz, and she is the president of the Donut Connection in Kanawha City. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to bring her up here. And Theresa, tell me, what's your hustle?
So I sell donuts.
Oh, there's more to it than that. Tell me a little bit more than that about Donut Connection. Now, well, first off, there's a bunch of different donut connections, but correct me if I'm wrong here. They're all independently owned and operated. Is that right?
Yes, so the Donut Connection is a cooperative, which essentially means that we all operate independently of each other. So my location, we can be open 24 hours. We can have sandwiches, we can have donuts. The only thing that really stays consistent is the suppliers. So we all have the same supplier for our donuts and creates a consistency of that product. But additional products or other things, it's just a matter of what the owner or the finds best for their audience or for their customers. So it's nice because we can tailor it to our customers.
Oh, that's very cool. So that gives you a lot of independence. Now, how long have you been operating the Donut Connection in Kanawha City?
So I've owned the Donut Connection since September, but I think it's been in existence since the 1960s.
Is it
Something.
that old?
Yes, I think so.
So tell me, have you made any changes so far? Anything new or exciting that people might not be aware of?
Well, a lot of a lot of the changes we've made have been minor at most. Uh, just to create consistency, figure out what the business has been doing for years that has worked well, so that we can see what goes well and what doesn't. But we have donut seats, which are awesome. We've been working on the freshness and the quality of our donuts. We've really been focusing on that, and we have some new recipes that we've been trying to put in the work. So I'm Hispanic. I love there's a dessert called pastelitos de guayaba y queso. My accent is horrible, but it's a
Mine's
guava.
worse. Don't feel bad.
It's a guava and cream cheese pastry, and I want to turn that into a donut. I
Okay.
throwing around the idea of a s'mores donut or just different specials we can start putting in rotation. Lunch menus, but all this is still just we're working on creating that. We haven't pushed it out yet.
So let me ask you this. How important is it, do you think, for business owners and entrepreneurs to think about expanding products, to think about going into new areas as opposed to just doing the same thing day in and day out?
I think it's very important, but it also depends on the business you have. So certain businesses are their clientele is based on we have this consistent classic thing, which does leave room for creativity, but it's I think depending on what your clients want. So
So you got to listen to the audience, you think?
yes, yes.
So
You can
tell
change
me.
audiences, but
Right, right. Well, one of the things that I talk about quite a bit is a lot of people, when they think about like McDonald's, McDonald's is a huge, massive, multinational, gigantic brand. But when you look at their original menu only had 5 items on it.
right.
They were very simplified and very focused on a very core audience, and then they expanded it over decades.
Yes. And I think the key thing with that is once you have everything under control, and then you can expand. Like you have to know what's going on. You have to know everything about your business first. Not everything, but you have to have a good knowledge of your business and how it operates.
Well, it's not a good idea to stay completely the same day in and day out either,
Right,
right?
right, of course.
Well, they say, you're gonna lose your audience just from attrition eventually, right? I mean, none of us are getting out of this alive, so we got to get some new market from time to time, right?
Yes, yes. I
So that
agree.
sounds really exciting. The idea of having a little bit of I like the idea of having a little bit of Latin fare when it comes to donuts, because definitely thinking now, Donut Connection donuts, those are good. Those are some of my favorite around here for sure. So it's great
Thank you.
to hear that, that's staying consistent, but also love the idea of incorporating some new flavors and stuff. Tell me, what was it about Donut Connection that made you want to own it, to be a business owner, to really step out and do that?
Uh, Donut Connection, I've always been cooking and it's just where I wanted to be. It was the best opportunity that presented itself. So I just figured might as well. I mean, I'm 20. It's not like I really have much else to be doing right now.
Well, that's a story in and of itself. I'm a little curious about. You are 20. There's not a whole lot of 20-year-olds that own their own restaurant. So how did you pull that off?
So I've been saving and working for since I was 14, 15, just and odd jobs, whatever I can do. Uh, but I had a very intensive course load, so it was summers. But I started doing college classes when I was 14, and then I switched. I kept going with that. When I was 16, I started doing full-time engineering. COVID hit, just decided that the college option was not right for me. Uh, so I started looking into running another business. My family's been working in starting different businesses since I was a little kid. So I've always enjoyed that. It's always just been part of how I was raised. And the donut connection, when someone looked at me and said, there's a donut shop that needs someone to run it, someone with time, someone who doesn't have a family or a lot of things that they need to focus on. I was stoked. I was absolutely so excited.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's really exciting. And you were able to pull together the savings and everything and purchase it. And now you've been running a business. You've been there since September. Is that right?
Yes.
And it's been working out pretty well for you?
That's going all right. It's been a trial by fire. I think I bit off more than I expected, but I think I can handle it.
Well, you always want to be right on that edge. You want to be just on that edge where you're just outside of your comfort zone, because that's where growth happens, right?
Yes, yes, and I'm very happy to finally have something like that.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me, um, so you were able to buy the company and you've been working it. Tell me a little bit about, so there's definitely going to be people that are going to be watching this and wondering about this. I mean, I don't want people to think that you're some 20-year-old wonderkin that, is, right out of the Ivy League that's just a genius with lots of
No.
family money. What kind of struggles have you gone through? Because there's going to be people listening to this that are going to be running into struggles as well and thinking, "Hey, I'm the only one." I mean, everything's gone perfect for Theresa. I'm not like that.
So a lot of the struggles are discipline, keeping up with what needs to be done when, how how everything needs to be done, uh, the daily tasks. It's just discipline is one of the things I struggle the hardest with.
I mean,
Um,
you mean personal discipline, like just
Personal discipline, like just getting the things you need to get done, taken care of. That's always been very difficult for me. And where school is something that was very easy to me, where it makes things that are more difficult just even more because I don't want to put the effort in as much. I've always liked things to be easy. So when things become difficult, it hits me a little harder, I think.
sure, I understand that. And did you find that with schooling you had like a set path, so it was a little bit easier, but entrepreneurship, you don't necessarily have an objective at the end?
Yes, so entrepreneurship, you have to make your own to-do list. You have to set up the tasks. You're getting here, here, and here, but you're choosing what you want to do. It's
Right.
like, what do you want to do with your life? Times a
It's
million.
it's like even not making a choice is a choice, right?
Yes, exactly.
So
Uh,
there's nobody telling you what to do. It's all up to you. You got to look in the mirror at the end of the day, right?
yeah, exactly. Personal interactions are another one that's difficult. Just an introvert. My ideal day is sitting in a room reading a book, or at a pool, that'd be fine. But just as long as no one's particularly around me. But at the same time, I want to hang out with people and have conversations. So it's always a battle.
A little bit of
So,
a push and pull there for sure.
but
Well,
I
that's
think
great. Well,
those would be.
Theresa, I tell you what, we're coming up on our time here, and it has been wonderful talking with you. I want to ask, is there anything else that you would like to tell people about? What would you tell people that were aspiring to be a business owner? What would you tell anybody that might want to know more information about the Donut Connection in Kanawha City?
Come on in, start asking questions, or come and get a donut. I'm generally there, but if I'm not, we can always start talking. I Even with the
Awesome.
introvertedness, I do enjoy meeting different people.
Great. Well, that's perfect. Well, and we're in the same BNI group, so if you that'll help people out if they're feeling a little introverted. Join a BNI group, and that'll help you get out
Yes,
of your shell,
definitely.
right?
BNI group, the Charleston Area Alliance, just any large groups or large meetings that you can go to. Just meet one person, and then meet another person. And
Yeah.
just keep building.
You know, it's really at the end of the day, it all comes down to getting out of that comfort zone. That's where you grow, and it sounds to me like you're just doing a killer job with it. So it's great to hear from you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
Hang on for just a second. I'm going to say goodbye, and then I'll pop back in and say goodbye to you. Okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure, hey, swing by the Donut Connection in Kanawha City. Yeah, they've got fantastic donuts. I'm going to try to swing by there soon. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get some donuts for my family. I'm going to tell my kids. I talked to the owner of this donut shop today, and I think that they'll be really excited about that. Thank you for watching today. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you again on Friday. Until then, bye-bye for now.